Last year, I revisited this particular show in a TV log to celebrate the 55th anniversary. And can you believe it's been 3 years today since they were parodied in an actual movie? Well, they're back to save America and their home. Who are they? Well, you know their story, duh. Well, you know the story of a lovely lady who was three very lovely girls, blah blah blah, and the story of one man who's busy with three boys of his own, living all together. They were all alone, but then one day, blame is this fella, and you know the rest of the story. Here's my re-review of the Brady Bunch movie. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a re-review of the 1995 comedy flick, The Brady Bunch Movie, released by Paramount, and it's a parody of the classic TV series from 1969 and ran till 74. Directed by Bay Thomas, with a screenplay by Laurice Elway, Rick Kopp, and Bonnie and Terry Turner. Yes, my friends, you better believe it, people. Anyway, the film stars Shelley Long and Gary Cole as the matriarch and patriarch of the Brady clan, Carol and Mike Brady, plus Michael McKean as their neighbor, Mr. Dittmeyer. It also features cameos from three members of a certain band from the 60s. Well, I won't tell you who they are until later. RuPaul, as well as some of the original cast. Now then, the now of course, well, this parodies the TV series, albeit in postmodern lens. That is, the film likewise connected with the connected sequels is an alternate retroactive continuity of the storylines to the series and lore based on the kitschy camp parody musical Live Brady Bunch tour in the early 1990s. Now, the film places the original sitcom characters with their 70s fashion sense and sitcom family morality in a contemporary 1990s setting. Well, apparently, this film did pretty well, as it was released on this day, February 17th, 1995. Henceforth, today is the film's 30th anniversary. Well, and in the film, the Braves have to try and, well, raise get the money to pay off the property tax, or the Braves' home will be at risk for possession. And this film turns it to be a real culture clash with all that jazz. Let's get into the story. Larry Dittmeyer, an unscrupulous real estate developer, convinces all the families in his neighborhood, except for the Brady family, to sell their property as part of a plan to turn the area into a shopping mall. The Bradys have their own problems, though. Jan is jealous of her elder, popular sister Marcia. Cindy is tattling about everything she hears. Greg is dreaming of becoming a singer, but sings pop songs more appropriate to the 1970s. Peter is undergoing puberty, and his voice is starting to break. He is exposed to numerous stimulation through sex education and his very attractive teacher, Miss Lindley. He is also trying to win the affection of the girl he loves, Holly, but thinks his shy and awkward personality prevents him from doing so. Bobby is excited about his new role as a hall monitor at school. Sydney gives Mike and Carol a tax delinquency notice, mistakenly delivered to the Deadmeyer, stating that they face foreclosure on their house if they did not pay $20,000 back, well, in back taxes. To initially ignore the crisis, but when Mike's architectural design, which is exactly the same as their house, is turned down by two potential clients, he tells Carol that they may have to sell the house. Cindy overhears this and tells her siblings. They look for work to raise money to save the house, but their earnings are nowhere near enough to reach the required sum. Mike sells a Japanese company on one of his designs, thereby securing the money, only for Larry to sabotage it by claiming that Mike's last building collapsed. Well, things do take a turn for the best and what have you. Marsha gets the chance to go, well, try and do her a little bit, like in the episode, the thing about the subject. No, wait, not the subject was noses. That's why it was a very good episode from season 4. And why, which that's good. Jan tries to show off a wig like she did. Will the real Jan Brady please stand up? Oh, now you get, now you think you know the rest. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the ending of this video. Well, this not the video, but the story right away. All right, you got 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below as I count down. Now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. On the night before the Braves have to move out, Marcia suggests they enter a search for the Stars contest, the prize of which is $20,000. Jan, having initially suggested this, has had been rejected, runs away from home. Cindy sees her leaving towels, and the whole family searches for her. They use their car's citizens van radio, and their transmission is heard by Shelley, a long haul trucker, who is played by one Brady Bunch character. Well, I'll tell you who that is in a little bit. Who picks up Jan and convinces her to return home. The next day, the Brady kids join the Search for the Stars contest, and Peter finally builds the confidence to stand up to Eric Dittmeyer, Peter's tormentor and Holly's boyfriend. This earns him a kiss from Holly, which gives him a deep masculine voice. The children's aided performance receives a poor audience response compared to the more modern performances of other bands. However, the judges, who happens to be 3 out of 4 of the Monkees, Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, and Peter Tork, vote for them, and they win the contest as a result. The tax bill is paid, and their neighbors withdraw their homes from the market, foiling Dittmeyer's plan and securing the neighborhood. In the end, Carol's mother arrives and finally convinces Jan to stop being jealous of Marcia, only for Cindy to start feeling envious of Jan in the end. End of story. So, what did I think of the Brady Bunch movie? Well, I loved it. I mean, after I had watched it numerous times and seen the Brady Kids animated series, but I never took the time to watch much of the actual series until years later. And, well, I'm still enjoying this film if I get a chance to see it. I really think this film is an absolute blast and a real culture clash from start to finish. This film was really, really something. The film eventually did pretty well at the box office, going on to make 54 million worldwide against its 10 to 12 million dollar budget. Anyway, it got some pretty decent reviews and what have you. Right, well, good to a mixed. The film is at 64% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying, though lightweight and silly, the film still charms as homage to the 70s sitcom. Metacritic has a score of 54, while audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave it an average grade of a B+. Variety said for 5 years back in the early 70s, US TV homes were in the thrall of the Brady Bunch. 2 decades after their small screen demise, the clean cut crew is back in mythic form as the Brady Bunch movie. Part homage, part spoof, the deft balancing act is a clever adaptation, albeit culled from less than pedigreed source material. Roger Ebert wrote for the Chicago Sun-Times, the film establishes a bland, reassuring, comforting Brady reality, a certain muted tone that works just fine, but needs, I think, a bleaker contrast from outside to fully exploit the humor. The film is rated PG-13, which is a compromise. The Braves themselves live in a PG universe, and the movie would have been funnier if, when they venture outside, it was obviously Wayne's World. He and Gene Siskel also agreed that the film offers charmingly bright and silly set decoration, but fails to deliver genuine laughs. Well, I disagree. This film gave me some pretty good laughs. Now, for a current review, Common Sense Me is that for those who grew up watching the TV show, the film is deeply satisfying, and the best part is its nostalgia. Sure, it's fun to see the Brays treated as freaks, but the heart of the film is a campy, affectionate interpretation of the TV show. Affirmative. Well, a year and a half later, this would get a sequel in the form of a very brave sequel, released in August of the following year. So, henceforth, that was a year and a half after this came out, and directed by Arlene Sanford. But I'll try and re-review that later. And then, of course, there was a second sequel. However, this was one I didn't know existed because was watching so much stuff on satellite, and it was made for TV called The Brady Bunch in the White House. And that's one film I'm afraid I'm not too familiar with. But anyway, nevertheless, I found this film to be pretty funny, and it's a pretty good thing I got to enjoy it while it lasted. For our cast, we have Gary Cole playing the role of Mike Brady, and I gotta say he does one hell of a job in this role. He's really something. Shelley Long, who you may remember from Cheers, played the role of Carol Brady, and I've got to say she's pretty good. The original Carol Brady, the late great Florence Henderson, actually has a cameo in this as Carol's mother and Mike's mother-in-law. Now, Harriet Mantel plays the role of the Brady's housekeeper Alice, whereas the original Alice, the late Ann B. Davis, appeared as the trucker Schultze. Surprise! Now, actually, two other original Bradys, Barry Williams, the original Greg, cameos as a record producer, and Christopher Knight, the original Pierre, appears as a coach, telling off Eric Dittmeyer from picking on Peter. And of course, the three monkeys, Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, and Peter Tork appeared in this. Unfortunately, the fourth one, Mike Nesmith, was not with them, but I cannot answer the reason why. Okay, now as for the rest of the cast playing the Brady kids, for the guys, there was Christopher Daniel Barnes as Greg, and I gotta say, he was pretty good. He actually recently now, of course, he was currently voicing the titular character in Spider Man the Animated Series at the time, and he had recently voiced Prince Eric in Disney's The Little Mermaid. Playing Marcia is Christine Taylor, who recently appeared on the Nickelodeon show Hey Dude. And of course, this was still before she even got married to a certain Ben Stiller. Of course, I know they're separated now, divorced. Well, now you get the point. Now, Paul Cetera plays Peter, and I've got to say he's really good. Jennifer Elise Cox plays Jan, and she's pretty good, and what have you. This was actually her first film, as a matter of fact. Anyway, she would go on to do some other films as well. Jesse Lee Sulphur played Bobby, and I gotta say he was pretty good. He, of course, appeared on As the World Turns, and well, he recently appeared on Chicago PD as well. And finally, playing Cindy is Olivia Hack, who later went on to voice Ty Lee in Nickelodeon's Avatar: The Last Airbender, as well as Rhonda Wellington Lloyd in Hey Arnold. And of course, she went on to do voice acting work for shows like Fillmore, Bratz, Family Guy, and many others. She's appeared on lots of other TV shows as well. And playing Larry Dittmeyer is Michael McKean, who, of course, most people knew best from TV's Laverne and Shirley, and many others. And his wife, Dina Dittmeyer, is played by Jean Smart, who most people would remember her from the first few seasons of TV's Design Women. She also appeared in other films and TV shows as well. There's other names here: David Graff as Sam Franklin, Jack Noseworthy as Eric Dittmeyer, Mariah Snyder as Missy Dittmeyer, Artie Robb playing Charlie Anderson, Megan Ward as Donna Leonard, David Leisure as Jason, James Avery from The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and the guy we knew best as the voice of Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, plays the Brady's neighbor Steve Yeager. RuPaul appears as the school counselor, Mrs. Cummings. And Alana Ubach plays Marsha's friend Noreen. Ubach recently played Josie in the first season of the educational show Beakman's World, and she would appear in several other films after this, like Meet the Fockers and several other films. But anyway, from what I've seen of the Brady Bunch movie, it's pretty good. It also has a pretty good soundtrack as well, and a score from Guy Moon, which was exceptionally good as well. So anyway, I found the Brady Bunch movie to be so exceptionally good. I like the story, the atmosphere, great. The characters are great. So is the cast. I feel like this does not have any problems and what have you. If you are a die-hard Brady fan, I say hell yeah for a recommendation. Definitely. You won't be disappointed with it. I hope. But you don't have to take my word for it. The Brady Bunch movie is exceptionally fun. I think you'll really like it. So, what did you think of the Brady Bunch movie? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Give them to know me. May they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. And share my vids with your friends if you'd like. And join me next time when I bring to you another anniversary review, and it'll be on the whole 9 yards. So if you like this, check out these other Brady vids. In the upper left hand corner is my revisited TV log on the actual series itself, The Brady Bunch. The upper right hand corner is Saturday morning TV log on its animated spin-off, The Brady Kids. I'm planning to revisit that later on down the road. We'll see if I decide to do that. Or if you'd like, check out my review of another film that Betty Thomas directed years later, but it has familiar characters, but with their squeaky singing animals. It's Alvin the Chipmunks the Squeakquel from 2009, and the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.